Hi Virgo, welcome to your weekly reading, my friends. I hope you're doing well, and I am here looking forward to this reading, and I hope you're doing the same thing. As always, I truly enjoy doing this, connecting with the divine forces and bringing information that can assist you in your path. I always say that I'm not a fortune teller, that what I do is basically are able to translate energy. So whatever energy you got going on, I'm able to translate it in the cards. And if this is something that resonates with you, if this is something that you want to do, perfect. At least you know that you're going in the right direction. And if it's not, well, the opportunity that you get is to change it. Okay? So I want to also thank, before I begin, all of those of you who are supporting my channel, thank you. And if this is your first time, well, I say, welcome. And I hope that, all of us can get to enjoy this little time that we spend together. Okay, Virgo, so let's begin. So in this particular reading, you are being represented by the energy of the lion and peacock. And I would say that this is the perfect harmony between the feminine and the masculine energy. So on one perspective, you are having a better understanding of what you need to do to go after the things you want to go after. Because here, you're using the strength of the lion. Lion is the energy that knows how to handle or knows how to master the element of fire. And we know that that's the element that describes our passions, our creativity, our inspiration. So I feel like there is an aspect of you who is very well aware of what are the things you need to do in order to go after your dreams. And the other aspect is the energy of the feminine, being very comfortable at knowing how to nurture or nourish those things. Of course, my readings are geared more towards relationship. So I feel like in this moment, Virgo, you're kind of are back in the game. Excuse me. I feel like many of you are starting to feel once again rejuvenated, maybe ready to go out there into the real world and start attracting more people. And maybe some of you were already doing that, but emotionally you were not really in a place where you're ready to reconnect. I feel like right now, vibrationally, there's all the elements that we need when we are truly ready to embrace or to attract an opportunity that is more in alignment with the things that we truly desire. And the reason being is because we have a cup in the head or in the mind, and then we have in the center of your reading the Ten of Pentacles. So I feel like you're starting a new cycle where you're finally, it's like you're ready again. You've gone through that, transformational cycle of breaking away and releasing the discomfort and learning and accepting the lessons you needed to learn, and now you're starting again. You're starting a path, you're starting a chapter in your life where you are having a better idea of how to use your strength mixed or together with your beauty, because peacock is the symbol of true beauty. And this is not about just physical, this is also about spiritual. This is about loving ourselves. This is about confidence. It's about integrity. It's about honoring and, valuing ourselves. So there's many qualities that come with the peacock. And, coupled with the lion, it's a very powerful combination. So I feel like some of you are in that emotional place where you're already knowing, or you're finally understanding who you are. You're understanding your limitations, and you're using them in a way that is going to be useful for you. And of course, that is putting you in a place of rejuvenation where you're starting to feel a sense of, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to go out there. Now, it's funny that in the head, right, in the mind, you have this cup, this Ace of Cup. Look at what a beautiful card this is. In this particular oracle, we could see that this cup came from a lotus flower. And we know that lotus was not always this beautiful. We know that a lotus flower is born from the mud. So I feel like many of you have finally going through all of these processes that sometimes we have to go through that are quite painful, and are the processes where we learn about ourselves. A lot of times we tend to think that we're learning about other people, and we get quite caught up in the other people's attitude, what they do, what they don't do, if they love or they don't love us, when in reality, the whole lesson or experience that we have with these people is to learn about ourselves. So I feel like many of you are finally in that place where you're learning about yourself, or you've learned enough about yourself that now you're ready to give. Now you're in a position to give, but you're very clear about how it is that you're going to give that. And this is where I feel like some of you might have met someone. This could also represent that you have somebody in mind. You've met somebody recently that has offered a cup. It could also be that because now you have learned to love yourself, that you're ready to offer this cup. You're ready to be out there and meet new people and find the right person. It could also be that someone from the past have come back, and you've had an opportunity or a conversation where you guys are maybe giving each other another chance. But all I can say is that right now, Virgo, your energy, it's very much in alignment with this cup. So I would say that in this particular cycle, there is a focus here about love, about relationship, about creating a stable home. And it's like if some of you might have doubted that this was possible, now you see it possible. Because with the Ten of Pentacles, we could see that, we have this pentacle surrounding us. We have the means. We have what we really need to create the type of stability that we want to create. And now we can see, we can feel it. I mean, we may not see it yet, but we can feel that it's coming. You can see the woman has her back towards, the home or this light, so she can feel that now she can attain her dreams. And in this case, is this love or this cup. So that tells me that some of you, Virgo, might have met someone. If you didn't, you can feel that it's coming, because now you're in a different state of mind that allows you to feel it. You've learned certain things, certain knowledge that allows you to understand how to go after what you want. In some ways, I see the energy of the moon, which is a very feminine energy too. And we know that the moon can represent sometimes hidden information. It could be deception, demonstrate deception. It could mean many things. But the one thing that we know for sure is that the moon goes through certain cycles where the energy grows and expands, and when the energy transforms and wanes. And all of that is a cycle, right, that is constantly repeating itself. So I feel like some of you are finally being able to see beyond the filters or the sometimes the some of the illusions that the moon creates that does not allow us to see behind the scenes. And as you understand, or as you have learned new information, now you could see the other side of the moon. So in some ways, as you move forward into this energy, Virgo, the unknown card comes out. And this is the card that talks about anything is possible. Anything can happen, but it's all up to you. It's up to your attitude. It's up to your aptitude to create and to attract what you want. And here I asked for another card, and it comes with the Nine of Pentacles. And the 9 comes with the energy of the Hermit. So that tells me that you have taken the time to dwell upon the things that you truly desire. You have been working with your passions and refining them for quite some times. And now you've come to that place that you know exactly what you want. So you may not have everything, but you have your understanding of what you truly desire. And as you can see, we've also learned how to tame our ego. You know, the lion here is a representation of that. It's a representation of finally attaining a certain level of balance or equilibrium within our desires and expectations, our dreams and our beliefs. Faith and surrender. So there are many things that are speaking in these cards that are finally helping you and allowing you to go through this cycle. And it's kind of the beginning, because I feel like if many of you have met somebody, you're like in the beginning cycles. And it's not like you're rushing the process. I don't see the same energy as I saw before with you, Virgo. I feel like you're taking your time, like there's no rush. I feel like if you haven't found someone, it's okay, because there are other things in your life that are priority to you. Like, you know, for once, paying attention to your intuition, paying attention to your inspiration. And if some of you have been thinking about a new project, or have been thinking about a change of career, or, you know, going after a race or a different job, this is the time where the universe is saying, look, whatever it is that you want, we're here to support you, and we're going to help you achieve it. So the star cards come out, the Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Wands. So there is an alignment here of the desires we have with the inspiration that we're getting, that it's creating a vibe of prosperity. And this is what we call the Wheel of Fortune. So it's not necessarily that by pure luck or fate we're getting what we want. No, that's not it. It's more like we're learning how to use certain universal laws to our benefit, where we're creating the right symphony or the right vibration that now is allowing us to attract the things we want. So here, Virgo, if you're not in that place, Spirit is saying, change your tune and focus on the things you want. And maybe this is the moment where you may find a role model, someone that you respect and admire for what they've done, and learn enough about them and follow through. Follow with a lot of what they've done. This is not the moment to get really caught up in the I don't have, or maybe I'm not good enough, or I just don't know what to do. Because there's opportunities here that are being presented that are very favorable to succeed, for success, to attract the prosperity. In the meantime, you do have this beautiful cup here in the head, in the mind. So that could either mean that some of you are thinking about someone that you really like, someone that you have met, someone that it could be far away, that is not in the same state. But, you know, with these qualities that you are showing here through the lion and the peacock, is telling me that you're finally using the right approach to attain your heart desires. And although you may not see all the results, it doesn't matter, because the trust that you have right now with yourself and the I feel like this is about when we have that reassurance, when we have, what is the word that I'm trying to say? Give me a minute, because I do this in Spanish and English, and sometimes the language factor, the Spanglish comes in. This is about security. This is about, when we start feeling confident. We start feeling confident. You feel very confident about what to do. And this confidence doesn't depend on somebody else, Virgo. This is a confidence that you're nurturing. It's like a confidence that comes from within. It's like finally you know that you have so many different qualities that many other people don't have, and you value them. And you know that you're not perfect. You know that you have your limitations too. But you've learned to take responsibility for those, limitations. And there are things that you're changing, and there are things that you're like, well, this is part of my boundary, and you're accepting that. So I feel like when the peacock speaks, okay, because there's two aspects of these two energies that are also quite aggressive. So the peacock, we know that when the peacock opens his mouth, my God, I mean, it's not pretty, right? So I feel like sometimes, Virgo, you may express certain things in a way that may create a lot of reaction or friction around you, okay? So people may shy away because you say things that are very direct, and not everybody is ready to, they're not ready to hear the truth. So when you come across that way, sometimes you tend to push people away. But I feel like even though this is an aspect of this is one of your qualities, right? Because it's like you'd rather say the truth than to sugarcoat things. I feel like people are starting to appreciate that more. So even though when sometimes you may be a little bit too aggressive or too direct, when people are not ready for, eventually they come around and they start appreciating that quality. They also see a strength within you that is quite unusual. The lion has mastered the energy of the fire, which is about the passions. So people feel very motivated, inspired around you because of how passionate you can be. Of course, with these energies, again, you have to be careful, because although your truth is your truth, there are moments where you have to learn how to close your mouth and shut up, because there are times when people are not ready. And you don't want to get into a conflict with someone just because you feel, well, you need to know. You're in denial, and I'm going to tell you. So a lot of times that attitude doesn't create the type of effect or result that we're looking for. So we always have to ask ourselves, well, if I have something to say, what do I want the effect to be? So that's one of the things about, with the peacock. With the lion, it's about aggression, right? Sometimes being too pushing people that are not ready. So we have to learn, how to tame these, energies and use it to our benefit. But I feel with the Nine of Pentacles you have, because I could see how this person has the lion. That's the ego. Ego is quite calm. And as you can see, you've made friends with your ego. So this is when we start learning that, yes, there are certain aspects of our ego or ego that sometimes can makes us behave in a way that is not fruitful, that is not positive. And when we start understanding that aspect of us, and then we don't react that quickly, we don't respond right away, we take our time. So I feel that that's one of the qualities that you have been able to master during this cycle, that now, even as using the energy of the lion or the peacock, you can get across. And you can get across in a way that you can actually open the way. Very interesting. So we have the energy of the moon. There's a lot of feminine energy here. When we see the energy of the moon, or we see this card of the magic guardian, I mean, there's definitely a lot of feminine energy here. And then we have the element of fire. And I've been saying, hey, Virgo, the way you've been purifying yourself has been with the element of fire. So you've been working with your passions and your creativity for quite some time. And you've had to change a lot in regards to your beliefs towards your, the attainment of your dreams. And that hasn't been an easy process. Of course, all of this eventually relates to our relationships, especially with our partners. So I feel like, a lot of the work you've been doing is about changing the nature of what you think a relationship should be, the role that you have in a relationship, and the role of the other person. So there's been a lot of readjustments that you've done where finally you're starting to feel quite at ease, quite comfortable, quite stable. And that sort of puts you in a crossroad. In a crossroad with the universe says, well, Virgo, under these circumstances and under this vibration, anything is possible. So we have a cup in mind. Some of you might have met someone new. Some of you might have been, attracted somebody from the past where you've had a moment in time that you both had a conversation, and a possibility is born where there could be another opportunity. And whatever attitude you had, or in whatever way you responded to that opportunity, is making that other person think. Because when I see this person here, they come in with the energy of the camel. And this is the energy you had last time, Virgo. Comes with the element of fire, and then the panther. And as you can see, we're seeing somebody here who's quite noble, who's quite tolerant, sweet. And this is someone who values family and relationships, or at least in this reading is showing that way. And they're willing to do what it takes to protect that with the panther, because this is a very protective energy. So as you could see, although their face, right, their attitude comes out as the camel, don't trigger this aspect in them, because they'll do whatever it takes to protect what they believe, or what they believe to be true, or what they value. Now they come with the energy of Cancer, okay, which is about home and family. And you come with the energy of Sagittarius, which is the same energy you had last week, expansion, getting outside my comfort zone, trying new things, trying new ways, learning how to behave in a way that it wasn't before, so you're playing with a lot, and it's all about spirituality, right? New wisdom, new knowledge, while they are now more focused in what matters to them. And in some ways I feel like, they're taking the time, and this is, an example, right, where maybe you both had a conversation, and whatever you said to them is making them think. Is making them look, within themselves, what it is that they're interested in, what do they want to create, or what are the things they're going to do about it. It's like, when somebody comes and says, I really like you, and it's like, yeah, what do you have to offer? What are you going to do about it to demonstrate to me that you're all those things that you're saying? So I feel like it's something what they're going through. And what I like about it is that the energy as they're moving forward comes with the energy of the Empress, which is a representation of all of that. What am I going to do to demonstrate that this truly matters to me? While in your case, it's more about, I have many passions, I have many dreams, and I feel like now I know what I need to know to attain them. It's like, whoa, very good, Virgo. I said if last week you earned your master's degree, in this reading you finally graduated from your PhD. And as you can see, this is happening fairly quickly because it's been less than a week or about a week. And look at how much your energy continues to evolve. And I would say that it's kind of a steady flow of energy where it's moving you in the right direction. So if you might have questioned yourself, I don't know what I'm doing, or maybe I'm not getting things in the way that I want, or maybe I'm doubting that, I'm never gonna get there. I'm never gonna have what I want, or maybe this person, I'm not just going to open myself up. All of these things sometimes that create insecurity in ourselves. I'm going to tell you that the energy that comes up here is a very positive energy because it's the energy where the universe says, you know what? Your vibration of the things you want are so clear now that I am going to bring those experiences that are going to allow you to choose. So this is when Spirit says, Virgo, don't settle. If something doesn't look exactly what you want it to be or more, don't settle. A veces, I'm sorry, I was going to speak in Spanish. Sometimes what we do is that we see options that are similar to what we want, but are not exactly. And then we kind of try to talk ourselves into accepting it because a lot of times we think that that's about the best we're going to get. And this is when Spirit says, don't settle. If you're attracting someone who has all the components that you desire in a relationship, and he can demonstrate it to you or she can demonstrate it to you, go for it. But give yourself time to see it. Don't just take their word for it. Don't just rush because of how you feel about this person into giving them your heart and create all kinds of stories around it. Doesn't matter whether you know them or whether it's new. Give them the time and let them show you and demonstrate it to you. And then you give your heart. So as you can see, the Spirit is speaking here very specifically. And now if this is someone new, excellent. I'm glad that they're inspiring in you thoughts of loves. But remember, not until we really learn to love ourselves deeply, we cannot create a situation like that. Sometimes we love ourselves and sometimes we forget how to love ourselves. We forget how to honor ourselves. And it is in those moments that we start then creating a relationship that is not what we want. So we have to keep in mind that love all the time. And I can assure you that then you will attract the right material or the right person that you can work with to create that type of situation. So you have great qualities here, Virgo, and the energy is very supportive, not only of your learning, but also of your teaching. And many of you here, once again, Spirit is saying that you are being guided into a spiritual career. So many of you are going down that path. And if you might have had any doubts about being able to sustain yourself in that path, Spirit is saying that's not for you to be concerned. Your concern is always to be true to what are the things that you're passionate about, because the rest the universe will provide. So I see, two people, one exploring the impossible, the other one being very true to, their family and home. And honest to God, I believe that the energy of this person, if they are that focused on home and family, that's the right person to have. But keep in mind that for this person may be difficult in the beginning to know how to coordinate or prioritize their time Because this is the kind of person that they're going to tell you, you know what, I'm going to go and spend time with my family. We're having a gathering and that's a priority to them. And this is where you have to see if they invite you and they want you to participate, because they may not in the beginning. This is the kind of person that says, you know what, I have children. My kids are a priority. And that's where you'll want to see if they want to introduce you to their children or if not. Sometimes in the beginning, this is someone who starts really slow because they are very focused in their life, family environment. It's important to them. But once they make the connection and once two people can commit and agree to how to work it out, this is someone who would be very loyal in a relationship, very faithful. It has two elements here that are that. Very tolerant and very protective of what they love. So I see here someone who, they're organizing their, ideas, their priorities, but they're doing it to see what they're going to do. While on the other hand, you're here, Virgo, and you're taking your own sweet time. And I wouldn't be surprised if right now you are quite caught up and busy with your work and maybe following through with certain projects. I myself, I've been trying to make my website for quite some time, and it was about finding the right person. And it wasn't until like a couple of weeks ago that finally I was able to attract the right person. And it's funny that once the energy is right, everything starts moving very quickly. So something that I wanted to achieve for a long time finally is happening. So I feel like you're going to have those kind of surprises. Some things, it's been unfolding little by little, while other things are going to just happen suddenly. There's going to be that surprise factor. Now, I always say, if someone that comes back into your life, Virgo, is someone who you had already a relationship with, where there was abuse, think about it really well if you want to give this person a chance. Because it's showing that this person is changing. However, due to the history that you've had with that person, I would think it over really well before, saying anything. Okay? Because if I were you, I would say no, not a chance. Now, if it's someone that you guys had some time together and something happened where none of those things happened, where there was that abuse, and then that's a different story. But I feel like definitely we're very right now involved in an emotional cup that it's making us feel very stable. And this is not just about, emotional stability, but it's also about financial stability. Good for you, Virgo. I feel like with the energies that are speaking here, there's a lot of synchronicity. So things are happening. And they're going to happen, even more as we move towards the middle of the month, even the end of the month. So I feel like by March, I wouldn't be surprised if some of you are thinking about traveling or going to visit somebody far away. There's definitely travel here. There is definitely people that are coming and saying, hey, Virgo, I want to help you. I think it's a great idea. I'm going to help you. Why don't we do this? And it's things that you've been wanting for a long time. And finally, you're like, wow, really? Yep. Excellent. And I'm going to end and close this reading, Virgo, with the message of the Magic Guardian. And this is the message that said, oh my God. Sorry, guys, but my English and Spanish are chaotic. Okay, so the message of the Magic Guardian says that, look, you are the magic, Virgo. You are the answer. You have it all within you. If you have been searching or looking for answers or reasons to focus or recognize, certain things. Well, this energy says everything you need to know is within you. You're a powerful, magical being. And once you recognize who you are, once you start valuing yourself, no matter what happens or who comes in front of you, that's when you're going to start really experiencing victory. That's it. And if you have any questions or you're searching for any, options or answers or knowledge, all you have to do is just go within and allow yourself to be guided by spirit, and you will find the answer, because everything is within you. So that's what you're being reminded of with this card. See how beautiful? Is this Egyptian? I don't think so. Looks a little bit, but I don't know. It could also look like African. Very magical card. So I will say continue to enjoy this cycle where the well-being and prosperity has been regained. There is a sense of equilibrium where you are loving and appreciating the feminine side of you, your beauty, what you have to offer. And continue like that, because in the direction that you're moving is a very positive direction. And I wouldn't be surprised if for many of you would finally reach the type of connection where you might be able to end up in a marriage, Virgo. Not that matters, right? I think it's more important to have the connection, the right connection, but you never know. So Virgo, I'm gonna leave it here. I hope you enjoy the reading, and I will say good luck to you. Thank you for watching, and remember that the most important thing is the love we have for ourselves, because it's the one energy that is going to help us find the peace of mind and tranquility to see things with clarity. I will see you next time, and be good to yourself, my friends.